everyone, my name is Diana and you're welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about tips and strategies that law school students or recent graduates of law school can apply in trying to get the job. So I understand that this is the period when people will be applying for jobs, and then interviews are going to start in earnest, and then firms are going to be conducting their tests. So yeah, I just want to give some tips that could help you even as you get the job of your dream or get the job that you desire. So let's just get into it. So the first point I have here is that you should apply early. You should apply early. Like, I think this is very important, especially if you have some specific firms that you want to work with. So most of the firms would have started conducting their recruitment exercise. So for example, I understand that during this set that just ended, finished their law school program, I know that a number of firms opened up their recruitment exercises. So if you did not apply at that time, well, I don't think it's too late to apply, to be honest, but yeah, you should have actually started applying. So ensure you get started as soon as possible so that your application or whatever it is that you're sending to them get to be considered with the first set of people that are going to be considered. So you don't want to apply late. Of course, some people apply late and they still get the job, but yeah, you just want to play safe and then do the right thing at the right time. Also, apart from applying early, you want to apply to as many firms as you can. Yeah, so I mean, many is very relative, so depends on what you categorize as many. But I remember that during my time I applied to a number of firms. Like, I applied to the tier 1, I applied to the tier 2, applied to the tier 3, and then just other law firms generally. So you want to apply to as many, and of course some people apply to 1 and they get it, some people just 2 and they're able to get their whatever they desire. But I'm talking to people that, okay, maybe for me it wasn't like that, so I'm just speaking from what I experienced. So I applied to as many as I could and sent in my applications, right? So then also in sending in your applications, you want to be sure that, okay, are they asking for a CV and a cover letter? So some firms get to ask for both, but you want to check their website to be sure, okay, are they asking me for a CV or they're asking for both a CV and a cover letter? So if they're asking for just the CV now, you're not just going to go to your email and then you just say, dear sir or madam, see my CV attached, I'm looking for a job, give me a job. No, you're not going to do that. Yeah, but what you could do is that since they are not requesting for a separate cover letter, you want to have a cover email. So the cover email is basically saying, oh, dear sir, madam, my name is da da da, I graduated from da 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 with da da da. While I was in university, I did da da da, my skills are da da da, and then I am looking forward to working here because, and you just leave it, and then you very straight to the point that can be read in a single glance of an email. So you want to do that so that it just stands you out and then gives an introduction to the CV that you have already attached. Then another thing that you want to do is that when you are sending out your emails, of course you're going to send to the general HR email of the firm that you're applying to. So you could always find that one on their website, and I'm sure that some messages will be circulating amongst your sets, showing these firms and then their email addresses. But another thing that I think that you should do, another thing that you should actually do to at least stand you out is to also copy your partner's email while you are sending your application to the HR. So let me give you how this works. So usually most of these firms have the partners' email addresses on their website. It's public information. I mean, anybody can go to Google and simply search a firm, and then you see all their partners and you see their email addresses there. Yes, it's there. You don't have to pay for it. So you could copy one of them. So just look at those names and say, who does it look like I should copy, and then who has my blessing in his or her hand. So yeah, you could just look at it. Or maybe it could also be practice areas that you're interested in. For example, you're interested in IP, and then you say that, oh, this partner is the person that heads the IP unit. You want to copy the person because you're just, at least apart from the HR getting to see you, and now you also get to this other partner heading the IP team gets to also see your application. So they may not reply you, trust me, they won't even reply you because they are not the ones in charge of the process. But then you don't know what happens in behind closed doors. So, and this is very important because you have to know your stuff, you have to know your onions. I mean, you don't want to send an application that you have not put up together, and then you're copying a partner, I mean, they'll get pissed off. So you want to be sure that whatever it is that you're sending to them is well put together. Yeah, so that's another thing. So for your CV as well, you could get people to review your CV and then ensure that you don't tell lies. Please don't tell lies. Don't tell lies, because they're going to ask you, if you put something in your CV, you never can tell what they are going to ask you. So you don't want to be in a situation where they will ask you to prove some things and then you will not be able to explain. No, don't do that, please. So yeah, don't tell lies in your CV, and then let your CV be direct and straight to the point. So you could check up videos on how to write CVs or how to edit CVs for that, but then this is not what this video is all about, or that is not what this video is about. So yeah, another thing that goes on now for law firms, so you've sent in your applications and thankfully you have been invited for a test. So now, one thing that law firms usually do, a number of law firms, not all, is that they conduct tests or assessments. Now, what are these tests like? So usually these tests vary. So when you get invited to a firm to come and write their test, please, you want to do your due diligence. You want to ask around and say, oh, I have been invited to so and then what kind of questions do they usually ask? I mean, it's not cheating. You are just trying to, it's not cheating. It's not cheating. I mean, you're not in the exam hall, but then you're just finding facts and then trying to know how to prepare. So trust me, these firms, most of these firms, the way they organize their tests differ. So some organize their tests in a law school format. I remember one that I wrote, and it was as if I was writing about finance all over again. Yes, so there are some like that. Some ask the LSAT, some just ask general knowledge questions, some ask current affairs. Like, you just want to be sure that the firm that you are going to write its test, you know what they usually ask. Some ask a mix of both. Some you are going to have to write an essay. So you want to be sure, you want to ask around. So it won't be good for you to go for a firm's test that they will test you on bar finance question and then you are reading LSAT. No, it doesn't work that way. So you want to find out the kind of assessments that they conduct and be sure that you prepare yourself. So you get materials, you get resources, check online. Most of these things are available online, and then talk to people that are working there as well, so that you could be adequately prepared for the test. So now, next thing, you have passed the test and then they're going to invite you for an interview. So the thing is, so for these interviews as well, so the same points for the test, ask questions. People that are already working there, ask them, or what kind of questions do they ask during their interview? Trust me, these firms, they have, I don't want to say maybe a consistent way, but they have a style. Yes, I think let's just call it style. Most of these firms have a style, and usually they get to keep to this style and then just stick to it. So remember, during my time, most of the test interviews that I went for, people that told me, oh, this is what they did, like, that was what I meant there. It wasn't so different or so special. So you want to also ask people and say, oh, what kind of questions do they ask? Some people, did they ask you on your CV? Would they really drill down on your CV? Or some people, are they going to ask you to they want to be sure that you know what is going on in the country, yes, you are commercially aware, so you want to prepare for adequately for those. Some people, they want to know, do you know what is even going on in our firm? They could ask you, what do you like about our firm, and then you don't want to go there and you don't know anything. So you want to do your research about the firm, you want to do your research about the core values of the firm, you want to do your research about the people at the firm, not like to know their names, but just know maybe this is the partner, this is what stands out for you. Because trust me, they could just ask you anything. So I'm going to leave a link to an article on preparing for interviews that I found really helpful, and I feel that you are also going to find it insightful while during your own job application process. And then another thing I'm going to say is that just trust the process. I know that this period can be very, very I don't know how to put it, but you could feel like, oh, is there hope? Like, oh, you may feel discouraged. I mean, you hear, oh, so they're conducting tests too, and then you're like, oh my god, I didn't even get a mail. You get, so those things can get discouraging, but trust me, don't let them get to you. Hang in there and then just keep trusting and believing God, and then just put in your best, and then ensure that whatever it is that you can do with your own, that you can do from your hand, just try to do them. And I hope that these tips do help you. And then if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me, and then my social media details that are also down below. Yeah, so, and I hope this video really helps, and yeah, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.